And welcome back to English for Specific Purposes Level A2. We are your hosts. I am Mr. Carter.
And I am Miss Sophie. Previously, we have already talked about media, psychology, business, and today we are going to start a new topic, medicine. But before that, let's look at our agenda together. Today we are going to start with a brief introduction, which will be followed by new vocabulary, and after that we will read a text about medicine.
After that, we will have a grammar activity in which we will learn about a new tense, followed by a quick summary of the entire lesson in which we discuss everything we learn, and finally, after that, a little bit of homework.
გამარჯობა, მე სოფო ვარ, ეს კი მისტერ კარტერია. კეთილი იყოს თქვენი დაბრუნება ჩვენს ტელესკოპაში. ჩვენ წინა გაკვეთილებზე უკვე ვისაუბრეთ მედიაზე, ვისაუბრეთ ფსიქოლოგიაზე და ბიზნესზე. დღეს კი დავიწყებთ ახალ თემას მედიცინას. თუმცა, ვიდრე უშუალოდ გაკვეთილზე გადავიდოდეთ, როგორც ყოველთვის, მოდით ერთად გავეცნოთ დღევანდელი დღის გეგმას. დღევანდელი ჩვენი გაკვეთილი დაიწყება მოკლე შესწავლით, ამის შემდეგ შევისწავლით ახალ სიტყვებს, შემდეგ კი წავიკითხავთ ტექსტს მედიცინის შესახებ. ამის შემდეგ გვექნება გრამატიკული სავარჯიშოები, შემდეგ კი შევაჯამებთ გაკვეთილს და დავასრულებთ ყველასათვის საყვარელი საშინაო დავალებით. Shall we start?
Let's begin.
Mr. Carter, what should you do when you are in poor health?
Well, Miss Sophie, there are several things you can do when you are in poor health. Number one is get lots of rest and plenty of sleep. Number two, make sure you drink a lot of water. And finally, if you are very sick, you should probably go to the doctor.
These are great tips. Mr. Carter, can you please tell us what are the things that are good for our health?
Well, Miss Sophie, there are actually many things that are good for your health, such as exercise, getting lots of sleep, and making sure you eat a balanced and nutritious diet.
And what are the things that are bad for our health?
Well, Miss Sophie, there are even more things that are bad for your health, such as eating junk food or eating too many sweets or smoking cigarettes or drinking alcohol. Those are very bad for your health.
That's very true.
Now, let's move on to our first set of vocabulary.
ახლა კი როგორც კარტერმა თქვა, მოდით ერთად შევისწავლოთ ახალი სიტყვები. And our first word is stethoscope. Stethoscope is a noun, and in Georgian it means stethoscope.
A stethoscope is a device used by doctors to listen to your heart or your lungs. So, anytime you go to a doctor's office, they normally check your breathing or they check your heartbeat. In order to do this, the best object to use is the stethoscope. I'm sure anytime you've been to a doctor's office, you've probably seen them wearing them.
Definitely. So anytime you have a breathing problem, probably doctor uses this equipment to check how is it going in the lungs, right?
Definitely, Miss Sophie.
Stethoscope, stethoscope. Stethoscope, stethoscope. Together, stethoscope, stethoscope. Let's look at our next word, which is oxygen mask. Oxygen mask is a noun, and in Georgian it means ჟანგბადის ნიღაბი.
An oxygen mask is a device that fits over your face and pumps your lungs full of fresh air. If you are having trouble breathing, or if you were in a very serious car crash or something bad, you probably need help breathing. A doctor will put an oxygen mask on your face in order that you breathe better.
Oxygen mask is a very important equipment if you have breathing problems.
Definitely, Miss Sophie. An oxygen mask can easily save your life if you're in trouble.
Oxygen mask, ჟანგბადის ნიღაბი. Oxygen mask, ჟანგბადის ნიღაბი.
Oxygen mask,
ჟანგბადის ნიღაბი. And our next word is X-ray. X-ray is a noun, and in Georgian it means rentgeni. Mr. Carter, can you please give us an English definition for X-ray?
Absolutely, Miss Sophie. X-ray is a type of radiation which is used to see through things. It's used in medicine in order to take pictures inside your body. It's mainly used if you have a broken bone or if you're having trouble with your lungs, heart, or stomach.
So probably if you have ever broken your leg, you would go to doctor to take the x-ray to locate your injury.
Exactly, Miss Sophie. It takes very good pictures so the doctor knows exactly where you are hurt.
X-ray, rentgeni. X-ray, rentgeni.
X-ray,
rentgeni. Let's look at our next word. It is syringe. Syringe is a noun, and in Georgian it means shpritzi.
A syringe is a needle that is used to either give your body water or medicine if you are very sick, or it is used to take blood from your body in order to give it to other people that might be sick. So, if you are healthy, a syringe is used to take blood out, and if you are not feeling good, a syringe is used to make you feel better.
Syringe, shpritzi. Syringe, shpritzi.
Syringe,
shpritzi. Let's look at our next word, which is wheelchair. Wheelchair is a noun, and in Georgian it means etli.
A wheelchair is a pretty obvious English definition. It's a chair with wheels. So, if you have been in a bad car crash or you are recovering from a surgery, you might need to use a wheelchair to help you get around. If you are very tired or weak, a wheelchair is a great device to help you get around and save your energy.
Definitely, and if you have broken your leg, then wheelchair will help you to go around.
You definitely need one then.
Wheelchair, etli. Wheelchair, etli.
Wheelchair,
etli. Let's look at our next and the last word in this set of vocabulary. Very important word nowadays, thermometer. Thermometer is a noun, and in Georgian it sounds exactly the same way, thermometri.
Thermometer, though it is a small device, it is very important. It only does one job, and that is to take your temperature. A doctor uses a thermometer to see if you have a fever or if you are sick. It is easy to tell if someone is sick if their temperature is too high or even too low.
Thermometer, thermometry. Thermometer, thermometry.
Thermometer,
thermometry.
Now, let's move on to our vocabulary activity in which we will match the word with the sentence it fits most correctly.
როგორც კარტერმა თქვა, ახლა გადავდივართ ლექსიკურ სავარჯიშოზე. ეკრანზე მოცემულია წინადადებები, სადაც გამოტოვებულია სიტყვები. ჩვენ ერთად უნდა მოვიფიქროთ, რომელი სიტყვა შეესაბამება ყველაზე მეტად გამოტოვებულ ადგილს. Shall we start?
Let's begin.
I think I broke my leg. I need an blank. Mr.
Well-
Carter, can you please tell us what is the word that best fits into this part?
Well, Miss Sophie, if you broke your leg, you're probably going to need a wheelchair. But the best fit for anyone that has broken a bone, the first thing they do
The very first thing.
is get an X-ray.
X-ray. You are absolutely right, Mr. Carter. It's absolutely necessary that you have your X-ray in order to determine what kind of break is this. And our next sentence is, he is having some trouble breathing. He might need an... Well, Mr. Carter, can you please help us with this one too?
I can, Miss Sophie. If you're having trouble breathing, a doctor will use a stethoscope to listen to your lungs, but it won't help you. The device that helps you the best is
Oxygen mask. You are right, Mr. Carter. It's an oxygen mask that helps you breathe. Let's look at our next sentence. My sister thinks she has a fever, but we can't find the... I think this one is very easy. We mentioned a device that takes temperature. Do you remember, Mr. Carter, which one was that?
I do, Miss Sophie. It's thermometer.
You are right.
The key word in this sentence is fever. Fever is when your body feels very hot and you are very sick. In order to find what your temperature is to see if you have a fever, you need to use a thermometer.
Absolutely right, Mr. Carter. Let's look at our next sentence. The doctor was worried about my lungs, so she used a blank to listen to my breathing. You remember we had two words about breathing. The first one was oxygen mask, something that we have already used. And what was the second one? The one that checks your breathing.
Well, Miss Sophie, we just talked about it, so I hope you know it is a stethoscope.
You are absolutely right. Stethoscope is the right word. And let's move to the next sentence. The doctor told me that the only way for me to take my medicine was to use a blank.
Well, Miss Sophie, I think this one's pretty obvious. A wheelchair can help you if you have a broken bone or are very tired or weak, but it doesn't help you take medicine. For this, you need to use a syringe.
You are right. Syringe is the right word here. And now let's look at our last sentence, which is quite obvious, but let's still have a look at the sentence. After the accident, George could not walk for a month and was forced to use a
wheelchair. If you can't walk, then the best way to get around is in a chair that has wheels. It helps your legs get better and it saves you energy.
That's true.
Now, let's move on to our second set of vocabulary related to the text.
ახლა კი გადავინაცვლოთ ახალ სიტყვებზე, რომელიც უშუალოდ ტექსტიდან არის ამოკრეფილი. Shall we start?
Let's begin.
And our first word is miniature. Miniature is an adjective, and in Georgian it means miniaturuli an patara. Mr. Carter, can you please give us an English definition for miniature?
Definitely, Miss Sophie. Miniature is used to describe something that is normally smaller than the original. The best way to think about miniature is that a child is a miniature adult.
That's very true. I think I have some miniature statues at home too. Can I say miniature statue?
Definitely, Miss Sophie. That's a perfect example.
Miniature, miniaturuli an patara. Miniature, miniaturuli an patara.
Miniature,
miniaturuli an patara. And our next word is swallow. Swallow is a verb, and in Georgian it means chaklapva an klapva.
Swallow means to take anything from your mouth, down your throat, and into your stomach. For example, every time you take a bite of food, a drink of water, or you have to take medicine, you need to swallow it in order that it goes into your stomach and your body digests it.
Swallow, chaklapva an klapva. Swallow, chaklapva an klapva.
Swallow,
chaklapva an klapva. Let's look at our next word, intestine. Intestine is a noun, and in Georgian it means natslavi.
Your intestine is a long tube that is underneath your stomach that helps digest your food. It is the organ that absorbs everything that is healthy in your food. In other words, your intestine is what makes you healthy and gives you energy.
Very true, Mr. Carter. Intestine, natslavi. Intestine, natslavi.
Intestine,
natslavi. Let's look at our next word, which is patient. Patient is a very easy word. If you have been to a hospital, you probably have been a patient. Patient is a noun, and in Georgian, it means patsienti.
Well, like Miss Sophie said, patient means anyone receiving medical care. So, if you have been to a hospital and you were sick, you were a patient.
Patient, patsienti. Patient, patsienti.
Patient,
patsienti. Let's look at our next word and the last word in this set of vocabulary, pill. Pill is a noun, and in Georgian it means abi an tableti.
A pill is a small piece of medicine you can swallow or chew that will make you feel better. Pills can do many things, from curing a small headache to helping fight cancer. taking pills is often the easiest way to take medicine.
Very true. Pill, abi an tableti. Pill, abi an tableti.
Pill.
Abi an tableti.
Now, let's move on to our reading activity.
ახლა კი ერთად წავიკითხოთ ტექსტი. Mr. Carter, can you please look at the picture of this medical device and help us and tell what is this used for?
Well, Miss Sophie, to be honest, I don't know what it is, but if I had to guess, I would say it looks kind of like a pill. So I think it's probably used to help your stomach.
You might be right. We are going to find this out very soon. But before that, can you please have another guess? What is the real size of this in real life?
Well, Miss Sophie, I don't know. The picture is pretty big, but because it looks like a pill, in real life, I think it is probably pretty small because pills are pretty small.
You are absolutely right. Actually, this device is about 3 centimeters long and 1 centimeter wide, and it's similar in a shape to a large pill.
Miss Sophie, can you tell us what it is?
Absolutely. Believe it or not, it is a miniature camera or a so-called pill camera or a pill cam that patients can actually swallow. Doctors use it to find problems in the small intestine.
That's amazing. Tell us how it works.
The patient swallows the pill cam with the water. And then for the next 8 hours, while patient is doing his or her regular activities, the camera travels through the body, taking pictures and sending them to the recorder device. After 8 hours, the patient takes the recording device to the doctor. The images are downloaded to a computer and the doctor looks at them in order to find the patient's problem.
Miss Sophie, how is this better than earlier technology?
Well, in the past, if doctors wanted to see the small intestine, the only way to do it was to take an enormous number of X-rays. The patient had to lie down without moving for a very long time. Unlike the pill cam, X-rays are also dangerous for your health because they give off the radiation. Plus, the X-rays themselves were not very clear. The advantage of the pill cam is that doctors get beautiful, clear images, and there's no radiation or discomfort to the patient.
Are there any disadvantages?
Unfortunately, there are. The pill cam is expensive and it takes time for the doctor to look at the pictures. But the main disadvantage is that after the patient swallows the device, the doctor can't control it. There is no way to stop it. For instance, if the doctor wants to look closely at one particular part of the intestine. However, researchers are now developing a new camera that doctors can control from outside. This could be a huge improvement.
That's fascinating.
It is.
Now, let's move on to our reading activity in which we will read sentences and determine if they are true or false based on what we read.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ კითხვის სავარჯიშოზე. ეკრანზე მოცემულია წინადადებები. ჩვენ ერთად უნდა გადავწყვეტოთ ეს წინადადებების შეესაბამება თუ არა ტექსტს. თუ წინადადება შეესაბამება ტექსტს, ამ შემთხვევაში ვამბობთ true, ხოლო თუ წინადადება არ შეესაბამება ტექსტს, მაგ შემთხვევაში ვამბობთ false. Let's look at our first sentence. The pill cam is used for finding problems in the stomach. Mr. Carter, what do you think? Is this sentence true or false?
Well, Miss Sophie, I think this sentence is true because you swallow the pill and it goes into your stomach.
You are actually wrong. You remember we read that when you swallow the pill, it goes into your intestine, into the organ, not into the stomach, which is located above the intestine. Therefore, this sentence is false. Let's look at our next sentence and be careful, Mr. Carter, this time. The camera travels through the body for only 7 hours. Mr. Carter, what do you think? Is this sentence true or false?
Miss Sophie, I know this sentence is false because we talked about the camera traveling through your body for 8 hours.
You are absolutely right. Actually, we said that after 8 hours, you can take the pill cam to the doctor to examine the pictures taken, right? So this sentence is false. Let's look at our next sentence now. Patients can walk around while the pill cam is in their body. What do you think about this one?
Well, Miss Sophie, I think this one is true because the whole point of taking such a small pill that is a camera is that you can continue to work.
You are absolutely right, and this is why this pill cam is innovative, because you can take it wherever you want and you can continue your regular activity as we read in the text earlier. So this sentence is true. Let's look at our next and the last sentence in this reading activity. A computer examines the photos from the pill cam. What do you think about that?
Well, Miss Sophie, I remember that the pill cam takes pictures and sends it to a computer so they can be checked by a doctor.
You are right.
So I think this is false.
You are absolutely right. This sentence is false because it's not the computer but the doctor who checks the device.
Now, let's move on to our grammar activity.
ახლა კი გადავიდეთ გრამატიკის სავარჯიშოზე. Mr. Carter, I see here two sentences. I have regular checkups with the doctor, and at the moment I am having a regular checkup with the doctor. Can you please tell us what is the difference between these two?
I can, Miss Sophie. The first sentence is present simple tense, and the second sentence is present continuous tense.
You are absolutely right. ამ ორი წინადადებიდან პირველი წინადადება გამოხატავს აწმყო მარტივ დროს, ხოლო მეორე წინადადება კი გამოხატავს აწმყო განგრძობით დროს.
We use the present continuous tense to talk about things that are happening in the moment. For example, I am visiting my doctor. We use the present continuous tense to talk about future plans or activities. Doctors are developing new medicines for the future. The present continuous tense is made of the verb be and ing on the regular verb. We make questions by putting am, is, or are in front of the to be verb. For example, are you feeling sick? We make negatives by putting not or in apostrophe T after the verb is, am, or are. Now, let's move on to our grammar activity, in which we will change the verb to fit the present continuous tense. I improve my driving skills. So, the answer is I am improving my driving skills. Sing you at the wedding. Since this is a question, remember the be verb comes first. So, are you singing at the wedding? She is not talking in front of people. Is not talking. Now, let's move on to our summary.
ახლა კი ერთად შევაჯამოთ გაკვეთილი. So, we have talked about vocabulary today related to medicine. We have read a text about medical devices. And finally, we have talked about present continuous.
Absolutely, Miss Sophie. So, that must mean we are going to do homework.
Everyone's favorite, as you said. For your homework, we want you to write a paragraph about the following topic. Imagine a new medical device and write a short paragraph about it. Describe your medical device, what its name, what does your medical device do, and how is it used. You can send your homework on the address shown on the screen. We have prepared a template for you. Do not forget to use vocabulary and grammar that we taught you today. Please do not copy-paste the template. We know you can do much better than us. We are waiting for your homeworks. Our next topic will be also medicine. Do not miss it.
Well, Miss Sophie, I think that is the end of the lesson.
You are absolutely right. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.